Oke, halo semua, selamat malam. Terima kasih udah untuk datang hari ini untuk webinar kita. Terima kasih karena emang jamnya malam, tapi kita jamin pasti berguna sekali. Jadi stay, jangan keluar lebih awal. Nama saya Aldrich, seperti saya tadi sudah dengar. Saya akan jadi host dan moderator untuk webinar malam ini. Dan judulnya adalah How to Create Efficient Cross-Border Payments. Dan ini dari AsiaCommerce, juga in association with Wallex. Dan semoga kalian datang malam ini sehat-sehat, karena emang kondisinya emang agak tidak pasti untuk itu. Dan supaya bisa mendapatkan ilmu yang berguna untuk usaha kalian, atau mungkin mau membuka usaha, dan malam ini supaya bisa mendapatkan ilmu yang berguna, insight-insight yang penting, dan untuk bisa meningkatkan pengetahuan kalian dan skill dalam bidang usaha-usaha ini. Jadi, sekarang saya akan memberitahu tujuan untuk webinar malam ini. Tujuan utamanya untuk webinar malam ini adalah edukasi, dan untuk berbagi pengetahuan, berbagi pengalaman, berbagi ilmu. Lebih tepatnya berbagi pengalaman dalam bidang cross-border payments dan bidang-bidang financial dari usaha-usaha yang melibatkan cross-border atau mungkin beda negara, dan itu yang menjadi fokus untuk webinar malam ini. Dan kami berharap acara malam ini bisa meningkatkan pengetahuan kalian dalam cross-border payments. Memang termnya sendiri emang maksudnya apa kita belum tentu tahu. Cross-border payments, apa maksudnya itu? Nah, nanti kita akan membahas apa yang terlibat dalam konsep itu. Dan saya juga berharap, kami semua berharap kalau ini akan menjadi pengalaman yang fun buat kalian semua. Jadi itu adalah tujuan utama kita malam ini. Sekarang kita perkenalan dulu dengan AsiaCommerce. Apa itu AsiaCommerce? Jadi AsiaCommerce itu sebuah technology oriented trading company yang memberikan sourcing, ya lebih tepatnya global sourcing, dan cross-border solutions untuk brands dan bisnis. Kita adalah B2B, which is business to business. Kita tidak melayani customers langsung, tapi kita melayani bisnis dan reseller, kita menjadi supplier, jadi tidak langsung ke customer. Dan kita memberi bisnis-bisnis ini sebuah pengalaman, yaitu untuk better wholesale procurement, kita membantu manajemen untuk supply chain dan logistik, dan global marketplace distribution dan fulfillment. Kita bisa melakukan usaha ini di China, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, dan Singapura. Ekonomi besar manapun di Asia Tenggara, kita pasti ada. Dan produk kita seperti end-to-end product sourcing, quality inspection, kita ada ekspor impor air udara, air and ocean, dan cross-border shipping, dan international dropship, global marketplace distribution, dan fulfillment. Dan kita bisa membantu kalian memulai usaha dan mengembangkan itu menjadi besar. Dan ya untuk in a nutshell, kita product sourcing, yaitu untuk sourcing produk kalian untuk dijual lagi, import-export solution dari awal sampai akhir, dan cross-border e-commerce, mungkin kalian mau beli seperti di Taobao, Alibaba, bingung karena bahasa Mandarin, kita membantu. Dan yang terakhir adalah marketplace distribution and fulfillment. Kita membantu distribusi dan memenuhi demand-demand yang ada. Dan ini klien-klien kita yang sudah pernah melakukan bisnis dengan kita. Dan itulah AsiaCommerce in a nutshell. Jadi kalau kalian mau cari lebih tahu, ada website kita, AsiaCommerce dan lain-lain, nanti akan saya elaborasi di akhir-akhir. Dan itu AsiaCommerce. Kita berkenalan dulu dengan speaker kita, seperti di banner ini, bernama Bapak Hiroyuki Kiga. Mungkin kalian sudah datang tahu kalau dia multilingual. Dia bisa berbagai bahasa. Kenapa? Karena dia bukan orang Indonesia. Dia orang citizen of the world, begitu saja. Karena dia tinggal di berbagai tempat dan dia bisa berbagai bahasa. Dan dia adalah COO atau Chief Operating Officer dan founder atau co-founder dari Wallex Technologies. Wallex Technologies sendiri itu adalah B2B focused FX dan cross-border payment platform. Mereka menyediakan services seperti multi-currency management, scheduled payments, dan payment platform, dan seperti itu. Dan mereka juga mainly serve untuk importer, eksporter, dan trading. Mereka headquarters-nya di Singapura. Jadi memang dekat sekali dengan Indonesia. Mungkin besar makanya dia bisa berbahasa Indonesia juga. Karena di Asia Tenggara, Indonesia itu penting bahasanya. Karena paling banyak orang-orangnya. Dan selain dia menjadi COO dari Wallex Technologies, dia juga mempelopori investasi dan akuisisi di Asia Tenggara. Dia juga pernah bekerja di Green Investments Ventures, berfokus di Series A Investments, dan dia juga berpengalaman dengan equity derivatives trading systems. Itu fintech yang sangat kompleks. Waktu dia bekerja di IT department dari Macquarie Securities Group. Dan malam ini kita juga akan didatangi dengan orang yang paling penting di AsiaCommerce, yaitu adalah Pak Ko-Frans Yuwono, CEO dan founder dari AsiaCommerce, dan dia bersama Pak Hiroyuki Kiga akan berbicara tentang cross-border payments malam ini. Lebih tepatnya akan di-interview. Memang bahasanya akan campur dengan bahasa Inggris dan bahasa Indonesia, tapi kami berharap kalian tidak bisa mengikuti dan mungkin juga bisa belajar term-term baru dalam bahasa Inggris, seperti term-term yang ada di fintech, karena memang itu juga bidangnya Bapak Kiga. Dan sebelum kita memulai, saya juga harus mengingatkan partisipan untuk mute diri kalian supaya tidak mengganggu flow dari acaranya. Dan nanti kita setelah selesai interview dan speak-nya, kita akan ada Q&A. Jadi tolong siapkan pertanyaan-pertanyaan yang sangat bagus untuk Bapak Hiroyuki Kiga ataupun Ko-Frans. Dan kalian bisa tulis di chat atau ketika Q&A bisa langsung angkat tangan dan bisa berbicara langsung atau bertanya langsung. Jadi itulah acara kita hari ini. Sekarang saya akan lanjut ke Ko-Frans untuk memulai acaranya. Masih di mute, Ko-Frans.
Okay. Thank you, Aldris, for the good introduction. I think your English is very good as well, eh? Alright, Hiro. Alright, everyone. Semuanya, thank you ya udah datang ya. Jadi ini pas banget. Jadi kita ada Hiroyuki Kiga. Hiroyuki Kiga adalah a really nice guy, a really Japanese guy, but sudah tinggal di Surabaya, sudah tinggal di Indonesia udah lama banget dan udah bisa ngobrol bahasa Indonesia. Jadi feel free nanti kalau misalnya kita mau converse in English atau ngobrol dalam bahasa Indonesia juga bisa ya. Tapi untuk pembicara di sini saya akan coba campur-campur supaya we can get like a more broad audience in here. Okay, alright, Hiro. Yeah, let's start from very simple questions, right? Like. Tell us about your background here, because people here wants to know about you, because you are a Japanese, right? But how do you come to Indonesia and how do you manage to build all of this huge fintech thing? Yeah.
Yeah, no, thanks, Franz, for having me here. Always a pleasure, right?
Yeah.
Jadi bapak saya orang Indo, mamanya orang Jepang.
Okay.
So that's my connection to.
Okay, wow. Okay. You're half. Okay, I don't know that.
Yeah. Lahir di Jepang, terus tinggal di Jakarta sampai lulus SMA, kuliah di Australia, dan kerja di situ. Jadi di Australia mungkin 9 tahun ya total ya.
Oke.
Setelah kuliah, saya kerja di Macquarie Group, departemen IT ya. Jadi dulunya developer. Terus waktu itu memang dari kerja di Australia sebenarnya mau pengen balik ke Asia Tenggara, Singapura, Jakarta, balik lagi sih. Terus tanya teman-teman kalau ada pekerjaan. Ryu Suliawan ya, yang founder Mitrans, dia yang pertama kali kenalin ke Green Ventures. Itu sekarang namanya Strive.
Oke.
Jadi pas banget. Dia bilang, Hiro, nih aku lagi cari orang yang bisa bahasa Jepang, dan of course Inggris, terus tahu tentang tech, IT kayak gitu. I didn't know anybody else but you.
Okay.
That is my inroad into startups. Itu tahun 2012 ya, jadi masih awal-awal banget startup ecosystem itu masih belum berkembang kayak sekarang ya. Terus we looked at seed series A investments across Southeast Asia, tapi banyak kan di Indonesia ya. We were a series A investor Bukalapak.
Oh wow, okay.
Very very early days. Yeah. Miyazaki and Fadrian early days. And it was very exciting to see their growth during that time. I wasn't around until they hit unicorn status, but at least I saw something their initial growth.
Okay.
So that kind of leads into some of the reasons why I wanted to start Wallex.
Okay.
Because as a VC, you work with many founders, right?
Right.
And these founders, they always want to ask you for advice. Hey, kalau gini bagaimana? Like, how what should I do about this? Right? I'm sure, Franz, you have a lot of questions to ask as well.
Right.
And to your investors. And as for me, like, I'm like, I've never been in your shoes. I've never built a business. I was an IT guy in a bank. Right? Who am I to give you answers? Within my capabilities, I would put something together and answer them. So these were the moments where I was like, hey, I'm going to make it a personal mission to become a founder first. If I were to go back into VC, I want to become a founder first. Because there are things that founders go through that a VC would never go through, right? The ups and downs, the pains, the highs and the lows. So by being a founder, I would be able to put myself in the founder's shoes. I can empathize when I'm on the investment side, right? So you look at the Peter Thiels, the PayPal Mafia, right? Or the Andreessens, that they all built their companies, they all sold it, and they became investors.
Okay.
Successful investors.
Right.
So that's my kind of journey from developer to VC to now founder. Yeah.
Oke, wow. Jadi Hiro waktu sebelumnya itu adalah developer IT dan setelah itu masuk jadi investors di Green Ventures gitu ya.
Iya.
Wow, oke. Keren banget.
I did a lot of Unix shell scripting, SQL.
Wow, oke. Okay. All right. Okay. And so being a developer, does it help you in investing in the startups, because a lot of the startups are like technology company, right?
Yes.
Were they asking advice from you like about business or more about the tech as well?
so funny story. I hated being a developer.
Oh, okay.
I hated it.
Okay.
So
interesting.
I wasn't a good developer. I was just able to do my job, but I was never a good developer. Right?
I see.
That's why I hate it.
Okay.
But I think in any case, one trait of a good investor, besides being able to empathize with the founder, is of course being able to analyze and dissect the business model,
right?
Understand market dynamics,
right?
Understanding the founder, reading what kind of person he is, and so forth. Right. I never asked any technical questions because I don't think I was any better than.
I see. Interesting thought. Okay. So Hiro, I understand that you want to experience the entrepreneurs like in the first hands, right? But why Wallex of all things, right? You can, being like investors, you met like so many, lot of business models like in front of you, and there could be like some things like trading. There can be something like easier business model, but you actually choose one of the hardest business model out there, which is the fintech, and and the fintech has to go head to head with the regulations and the red tapes and everything, right? So why Wallex of all things?
I mean, it could have been anything, as you mentioned, right? It could have been e-commerce. It could have been something else.
Right.
But I think it was just at the right time, at the right place, with my co-founder as well. So I've known him since I moved to Singapore. And he pitched me the idea of Wallex, doing Wallex together.
Okay.
And at that time, fintech 2015 ya, fintech was just about getting hot. Lumayan udah ada startup remitansi, tapi kebanyakan B2C.
I see.
Transfer dana untuk kayak apa ya, TKI. Lumayan udah ada beberapa startup di Singapura ya. Di Indonesia belum ada. Terus lihat-lihat marketnya, mikirnya, hey, like actually we talked to a lot of founders as well. Like, what do you think of this idea? Dan mereka bilang, saya ada perlu pembayaran supplier setiap bulan kemana, ada desainer harus bayar di Thailand, harus payroll, pokoknya pembayaran sebulan ada banyak ke luar negeri untuk bertahan. Tapi itu sekarang bisanya pakai bank dan mahal. So for me it was like, oh, actually B2B is actually more interesting because there's recurring payment needs.
Right.
And then there's so many solutions for B2C, but there's none for B2B. Jadi fokusnya B2B.
Betul banget. Nah, tapi meskipun idenya sudah ada, tapi kan mulai membangun dari awal infrastruktur, apalagi remittance, like you really need like a very good tech team with a security team as well, right? Jadi itu how do you tackle it?
Yeah, I mean, security and trust is a big factor, right? Because we're handling your money,
right?
But the biggest challenge for us in the beginning was sorry anak saya.
No problem.
Get a license. Yeah.
Oh.
License itu dapat izin itu yang paling lama dan paling susah.
Oh, di setiap negara juga ya, gitu ya pasti. Paling susah. Jadi setelah lagi aplikasi izin, that's when we sort of spent some time developing our product, engaging our customers, making sure that we cater to needs to a B2B, because when it comes to companies and B2B, they're a different animal. Yeah, they have different needs. They have different let's say they have different needs. So we have to make a product based on what SME customers, what you want, for example, France, right? Right. So let me get this straight. Jadi pertama yang harus diberesin dalam ini ada.
Kita pertama ya yang harus diberesin. Hello, France. France, you're like.
There may be an internet problem.
Yeah.
Let's just wait for a little bit.
Okay.
I will check with them.
Okay deh. Kocok.
We apologize for the technical problem. I think he's reconnecting. Dia lagi reconnecting sekarang, dan maaf untuk tech problem ini. Dia akan masuk sebentar lagi. Mati lampu.
Mati lampu. Oh my god.
Jadi tunggu sebentar.
Classic.
Ini classic Indonesian problem.
Yes.
The electricity.
Kayaknya udah lama banget nggak ada mati lampu ya. Hey, France.
Hey, Hiro, sorry. I just got some lampunya baru mati di rumah. Jadi tiba-tiba got cut off gitu. So sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah. So carry on.
So you're asking about like the beginning. I think the challenges.
Right. So on the beginning, you hire the license, right? Jadi nggak bisa jualan dulu ya, gitu.
There were ways to do it, right? So for example, when it came to doing the transaction from Singapore, we started in Singapore.
Okay.
We were not allowed to receive funds from our customers and send that overseas.
Okay.
What we were able to do was receive funds from our customers in one currency, exchange it into another currency, send them back that currency, and then they send it out. Right. So that was regulatory.
Okay.
So we try to do that for some of our other customers, at least to get some traction to show that we can do something.
Right.
And, that's how we got initial traction. Very little traction, but initial traction.
Okay, got it. Yeah. So you start in Singapore, and then you need to tackle with different countries, right? Karena,
yes.
well, your business model is cross-border. Okay.
And we started in Singapore, then we got the Indonesia license, and then Hong Kong.
Okay. So I noticed on your Wallex screen, right? Right now you also catering for Shopee and all the big marketplaces. They are using Wallex as well.
I would say the marketplace themselves are using us. Tapi kalau di marketplace kan, ambil contoh Tokopedia, ada banyak penjualan dari luar negeri yang dijual di Tokopedia atau Bukalapak atau Shopee Indonesia.
Yes, betul.
Mereka pas penjualan, uangnya transfer kemana? Rupiahnya transfer kemana? So they need a collection account.
Betul.
Right? Collect the rupiah, the money back into China, and so forth. Works for Indonesian merchants as well. Kalau ada penjualan dari Indonesia yang mau jual di Amazon Amerika, Amazon whatever, you need a collection account. So that's the infrastructure that we provide. Right. Yeah, we are providing a collection account
nice.
for overseas merchants to collect in the market locally.
That's very helpful. Jadi, in essentially, Wallex menyediakan collection untuk terima uang dari luar negeri di dalam currency-nya mereka, gitu kan ya? Gitu.
Iya, benar. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's very. Hiro, before we go deep into Wallex, right? Can you just with your own words give us a brief intro about Wallex?
Sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. So we're as I think was covered earlier, we're a B2B focused FX and cross-border payments platform. And our primary use case is helping SMEs do, when they import goods, they have suppliers to pay, we do the FX and the payments, right? More recently, we've offered our infrastructure via API. So let's say another fintech company, maybe a lending company, right? They lend out, capital to companies, SMEs, but if they want to add in a cross-border feature or a payment feature, FX feature, right? We can provide that via API.
Okay, nice.
So more recently, we've been doing we've been going after that to find partners that we can leverage or provide our FX and cross-border infrastructure to. Yeah.
Okay, that's very nice. So basically, anyone can actually sell overseas, and they don't need to worry about having a bank account where to collect the money, right? They can just use your Wallex to make it as a collection point.
That's true. Yes. So that's another service that we offer. So there's, I think broadly we help customers send money out. We help importers when they have to pay suppliers, send money out. But we also help exporters collect and send money back in.
Okay.
So 2 ways.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very nice. Okay. Hiro, like being also a startup, right? You always getting asked, so what are the problems that you solve? It seems to me that there's a problem in here that you are trying to solve. Can you elaborate more on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when it comes to cross-border payments, especially in Indonesia, By the way, if you notice, I never say remittance, saya nggak pernah bilang kita adalah perusahaan remitansi. We always mention payments, because I feel that when you use remittance, it always has the connotation that it's B2C, retail, transferring money to domestic partners.
I see.
That's why we always consider ourselves as a payments company, right?
I see.
Yeah, but anyways, so when it comes to cross-border payments, Singapore has its own problems, but Indonesia especially, right? Sekarang kalau mau kirim uang ke luar negeri, caranya bagaimana? Harus ke bank. Pas ke bank, harus isi form kan, manual.
Betul.
Terus ada limit transaksi, harus kasih supporting underlying document. Pokoknya semua manual. So we bring everything online. You can do it from your home. There's no transaction limit, and we streamline that process. Another one is banks don't give all the currencies that we can offer.
Betul, right.
Contoh, kemarin ini beberapa minggu lalu ya ada nasabah yang perlu kirim uang ke Thailand, Thai baht.
Betul.
Di bank di Indonesia nggak ada Thai baht.
Betul.
Jadi dia caranya kirim rupiah ke USD ke rekening dia sendiri di Singapura dan Singapura ke Thailand.
Betul.
Nah, setelah dia pakai Wallex, rupiah ke Thailand, Thai baht langsung.
Masuk akal. Betul.
So these are some of the problems that we are solving, right?
Right.
I think just general advice when it comes to building startups or solutions, you want to build painkillers. You can build vitamins, right? They're nice to have, but painkillers is what's gonna be sticky to your customers.
Yeah. Wow. Untuk teman-teman yang ada di sini ya, jadi I can see Wallex can actually become infrastructures for a lot of startups. Benar kan ya, Hiro ya?
Benar. Yeah. Because there's a lot more companies or fintech companies that are wanting to add additional services, right? Embedded finance.
Betul banget.
And we can provide that B2B FX and cross-border infrastructure.
Right. You really enable like a lot of when they see your service, people can just think what they can do to build on top of your infrastructures.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Hiro, just a brief intro also as well. Can you share about your stats now, headcounts when you're back in 2016 and compared with now? I mean, just give an idea, how do you grow during these 5 years?
Yeah.
And did you meet any like during pandemic, like a lot of people like scaling down as well, right?
Waktu kita mulai kita ada 5 orang.
Cuma 5 orang gitu.
5 orang, 3 developer.
Wow.
Saya dan co-founder.
Wow, Superman semua.
Kita nyewa office kecil banget deh, mungkin 40 square meter ya, 40 square meter. Ada meja 4, co-founder dan saya sharing 1.
Okay, wow.
Our developers have their own tables. I share this table with my co-founder.
Wow, okay.
Itu waktu awal ya. Dan meja-meja juga itu beli di IKEA, bikin sendiri kayak gitu lah.
Okay, very humble beginning ya. Gitu.
Now sekarang kita ada 83, 84.
Wow, that's good, Hiro.
30-an di Singapura, 50 atau apa ada di Indonesia, Jakarta, Malang, Balikpapan, dan ada 3 di Hong Kong.
Okay, wow, that's very good. Bagus banget.
Luckily, just on COVID. Luckily, I mean, we raised the funding round during then, so we didn't have to fire people.
Okay.
We had enough money.
Oh, so you had funding round on last year?
Last year, yes. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Tapi on the first years, did you do any fundraising as well?
Ya, jadi sebelum ada izin kita fundraise 3 kali ya. Yang ketiga itu pas waktu pas dapat izin sih. So 2 kali sebelum ada izin. So yeah, very very fortunate to have early backers.
Okay.
That believe in our vision. And in our story.
Yeah, they must believe in you, right? I mean, you are someone in the venture environment already, right?
I would like to think so. But having VC background makes it no easier raising funds. It's so difficult.
Okay, I see. Of course, kita ngobrol tentang setelah growth ya. Pasti juga kalau misalnya bisnis itu benar-benar sangat oke banget, biasanya banyak banget kompetitor yang akan datang gitu. Jadi, can you share about your competitors and who they are, and do you feel pressure from them as well?
In the beginning, yes. Because I think that's when you're trying to figure out how you differentiate against them, and you don't have much product, right? You don't have a lot that you can show that can differentiate with your competitors. But I think towards the end of this year, over the last 6-12 months, I felt that we've been able to really show how different we are.
I see.
We've identified our market position, our position in the market. Yeah.
Right.
And imagine that it took us like 4 or 5 years, man. It's not something that you can figure out in day one. I feel, even though it's
okay,
you can draw it out, but it's not something that it's not easy to really identify yourself as that company within the market that's different from the competitors. Jadi sekarang kompetitor kita adalah bank.
Oh wow, okay.
Western Union and Amex.
Oh, oke. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jadi betul-betul tradisional ya, gitu ya, yang tradisional. Oke. Okay. Tapi how did you get your unique positioning? Did you just wake up one day and say aha like that, or was it like accumulative from the years and then suddenly there is a door opening? Can you share your aha moment on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think from the beginning we've always wanted to do B2B, so that already was different from the existing startups, right? Like TransferWise, Instagram, doing B2C.
Right. That's true.
But the thing is, you're always going to get questions like, oh, what did they do B2B? What did they go into B2B?
Right. It's true.
How are you going to compete?
Yeah.
So in order to
differentiate,
show that they're not competing in the space, that you're not competing in their space, that took time.
Okay.
Over a period of time,
I see. Okay.
Built our company focus. I think focus is also one thing that you need to keep note of, right? Like looking at competitors, like you need to find out what is it that you're good at, what is it that only you can do, and like focus on just becoming very strong at that.
I see.
Then you will start to be able to differentiate yourself.
Okay. Oh, that's very interesting. You spent like 5 years and you consider yourself to found the aha moment on year 5, which is
exactly.
Which is very inspiring for people, so that they don't give up on just the first years, right?
and there's a saying, right? How do you say it? You can't overtake 10-15 cars on a dry day.
Right.
But you can when it's wet, when it's raining.
Oh, that's true.
This is what that's true. Senna said, right? Like referring to Formula 1. Yeah. So we were like way back in maybe like 15th, 20th place, last place before. But I felt that last year was really our opportunity to focus building our strengths, right? And I wouldn't say overtake our competitors, but we focus on building our strengths. And I think through that, we were able to come out saying, hey, look, we are here. The other guys are this, right?
I see. Okay. That's very good, Jadi, I want also to, talk about how do you scale the B2B, right? The business. Karena seperti kita tahu, B2B is a very different environment than the B2C. You need like, I don't think you need like a lot of popularity, but in a sense, you also need like a lot of partners, and it's quite hard to scale B2B, So how do you manage to scale up the business? Do you aim to hunt for the biggest partners like that?
Yeah.
What is your strategy?
Yeah, benar banget sih. I mean, I think scaling B2B is not easy, and every B2B would have their challenges, right?
Right.
I think one way that we've identified is really, I think first you need to understand your sales funnel, right? Once you have a proper sales funnel, then you can start optimizing that. You can start looking at the conversion rates, so forth, and you can start adding people to optimize that, right? And that's just putting manpower there and resources there to scale. That's one way, right? But we didn't have money to do that. So
okay.
How do we scale? Yeah, I mean that's only recently that we've started doing that.
Okay.
Last 6 months maybe, but we didn't have money to do that before. So how do we scale? We try to leverage, find, namanya growth hacks ya. We try to find growth hacks to scale the business.
Dengan resource yang ada, gitu.
Iya, benar. Contohnya, kalau nasabah transferring uang ke supply Singapura, right? Kita taruh email setiap kali ada transfer. Pas transfernya komplit, kita kirim email ke supplier yang menerima. So we'll be receiving this from Wallex. So they're familiar with Wallex. They'll see Wallex through emails. Jadi our sales guys would approach that supplier. So we leverage the sender-receiver relationship. So once we onboard a sender, nasabah Indonesia, we onboard maybe 6 or 5 more.
Okay, interesting. That's interesting. So, jadi it goes both ways ya, bisa dari supplier and also the buyers as well.
So that's like one way that we did it, right? Another way is of course through partnerships. Once again, we didn't start this. We didn't have the infrastructure to provide this, but once we started partnerships, then the number of customers also increased.
Okay, that's very interesting, gitu. Hiro, like being a fintech, right? Jadi, there's always a problem with fintech between regulation, but also the tech. do you focus more on the solving the regulations, or do you focus more on solving the tech here?
So this is a good question.
Yeah.
And I will make sure I give a politically correct answer. Right?
Okay. Right.
When it comes to a regulated fintech business, we need to do 3 things very well. Okay. One is make your customers happy, right? Second one is keep your banks happy as well, because no matter what, you're always going to need a core banking partner.
I see. Right.
And 3. You need to make sure the regulators don't come chase you for things. Right. What do I mean by that? I mean, I don't know about other business models, but when it comes to payments, money laundering, KYC, know your customer, compliance, itu penting banget. One wrong transaction, and that's it.
Oh, okay. Jadi all of the transactions should be, each of them has to be scrutinized, kayak gitu ya?
Yes, we have transaction monitoring every day, real time.
Wow, okay.
And of course, I mean, the license application, that's another thing, right? It just takes time. You just need to put in paperwork, put in the right people, wait, get questions, wait again, get more questions, wait. So it's just a matter of once you get the license, keeping the license is a different story.
Oh wow, okay, I don't know that. Okay. Jadi apa? Let's talk about the licenses, right? Jadi the regulations in Singapore versus Indonesia versus Hong Kong, how are they different in this one?
So I think when it comes to cross-border payments, remittance, the license, I guess the regulatory coverage is similar, right?
Okay.
There are things that you cannot do. There are things that you can do. There are things that similar things that each license governs: outbound payments, inbound payments, domestic payments. But where I find the most different is that the regulatory appetite
Oh, okay.
Indonesian regulators is not as open. Yeah. What do I mean by that? Partnerships. For each partnership that we have to do in Indonesia, we have to get approval.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So maybe like 8-month process.
Okay.
But Singapore, you don't need to get approval for partnerships.
Oh, you don't need to.
just do it, and then that's it, right?
Okay.
So I feel that really hinders growth because there's so many partnerships that we can do in Indonesia, but we just haven't done it because we don't want to go through the regulatory approval process.
Right.
But through partnerships is where innovation comes in, right? Where you have more solutions to pain points, as I mentioned before, and so forth. Yeah, I think the regulatory sort of openness to these partnerships need to change in order to drive that.
Okay. So does that mean you have sometimes your technology is ready, but if the regulation is not ready, then you cannot process the tech?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So we don't offer our API services in Indonesia.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
It's only Singapore.
I see. Okay. Wow, that's like a lot of differences though. And of course, being in those countries, do you have to learn all of these regulations as well? Being
absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
We have a compliance head for each country. Yeah.
Okay.
Compliance is very important when it comes to these things.
Do you still sleep at night?
Yes, I can.
Seems like a lot of rules and regulations.
Yeah, so compliance is something that if I were to answer what keeps me up at night, compliance. All right.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. That's very interesting. Okay. Because
it's not like we've never come across fraud transactions. We have come across them and we filed them. We file a suspicious transaction report.
I see. Okay.
So we report the officials,
I see. Okay. Okay. Wow. It seems like, like a lot of things to be done on your side as well. While we as the users, we just like, taking it easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just alternative to banks and, people can just transact with you anytime we want. Okay. Okay. Also, like, moving on to the next question, like, why is using Wallex is much cheaper than the banks? Karena di homepage-nya Wallex, title pertama adalah save up to 85% than banks. Right? How do you manage to do that? I mean, like, I'm sure, like, banks being like big banks, they already have like efficient, like.
So I think the answer is. The ideal way to do a cross-border payment is to net off flows. What I mean by that, you have customers from Singapore sending money into Indonesia. You have customers from Indonesia sending money into Singapore, right? You can kind of match off the flows.
Right.
So by that, you don't have to go to a bank to transact.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's how some of the other more successful B2C remittance companies like TransferWise built their business. Right? They net off flows. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Another way is to let's say it's never a one-to-one match. How do you get better rates? We aggregate the flows.
I see.
For maybe like for you friends, let's say you want to send $50,000 to a bank. That's $50,000. But if I'm working with another 20 of you, right? That's $1 million. I can go to the bank.
Right. Okay.
I would aggregate flows and transact with the bank, and that's how we're able to offer better rates.
Right. Like in a sense, you're actually, you understand like the loopholes inside the business of the banks, and you can cut it off like on the side, right? Because I'm pretty sure like the banks can do that as well, but they don't, really consolidate.
Yeah, so you're right. The banks can do it if they want to, but they'll be losing money on every trade because they have a cost base to maintain. Kan ada banyak cabang-cabang, itu cost.
Itu cabang. Oh, costnya juga cabang-cabangnya. Okay.
Their headcount is cost, right?
I see.
All their paperwork is cost.
Right.
We don't have cost. We have very little cost.
I see. That's why.
So we can afford to lower our rates because we don't have to earn that much to cover our cost. Whereas the banks need to earn more to cover their costs.
That's true. Jadi you almost like everything you do everything like programmatically, like in technical ways, correct?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Now, nice. Okay. Also, like like from your observation, right? You've been dealing with a lot of merchants. Why do you see, aside from cost, why does merchants choose to use Wallex rather than banks? Aside from the cost, of course, because you just explained the cost already. Yeah.
Right. I think when it comes to merchants, right? SME sector, they are the most underserved segment for a bank.
I see.
They're unloved.
Okay.
But we treat them like we love them.
I see. So you have like very different perspective than the banks.
We treat them like that. They matter. The analogy I like to use is that, let's say when you go to a restaurant that you often go to, right? The waiter comes in. Oh, Pa Franz, here's your seat. Yeah, you want the usual? Yeah, we'll get it for you. Here's the thing. You feel special, right? Because you go there often. They should know what you want.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
They should treat you like a regular. I don't think banks do that.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
So that's the kind of customer service success mentality that we have with our team, right? That we want to make. We treat everybody with care, and then we give them and no matter what transaction that you do, you get the same rates, for example, right? So these are some of the things that we've identified that the banks don't do, but we want to do really well, and we've done really well.
Wow. Okay, that's very a good proposition, Hiro. Now I understand why a lot of SMEs love you. Okay. Also, like being a fintech, like people right now, they always to give more features, like lending you the money, for example. Since you're already in the payment business, do you foresee you are going to offer more like lending P2P for your merchants in the future, something like that?
Absolutely. I mean, for us, our vision has always been to become a financial services type of platform for SMEs, right? Enabling cross-border trade. So we always see payments as the initial hook, initial touch point.
I see.
I think yang paling gampang. We're not changing behaviors, right? They're just transacting with us instead of the banks.
Right.
And then once we start that relationship, we can then, we've actually started offering invoice financing for our Singapore.
Oh, wow.
Customers.
Okay, you do?
Yeah,
okay.
We started that.
Okay.
So we offer them invoice financing in the currency that they need. So this is where it gets interesting, right? If you have a supplier to pay in Europe, an Indonesian bank or a Singapore bank is not going to give you financing in euro.
Yes, right? Totally.
At most Sing dollar, and you have to do FX.
Correct.
But we can manage the FX. We can give you financing in euro, and we can do the payment, and you pay us back in Sing dollar. Right?
Wow. Okay.
So I think that's a very interesting proposition to our SME customers.
Wow. But,
jadi FX, payment, invoice financing itu semua we take care.
Wow. Okay. In that sense, like, don't you need like a huge financing power behind you? But I'm guessing you already have it now.
Nah, ini juga, I think about building startups, right? Do you do it yourself or do you work with a partner, right? Our specialty is FX and payments. So on the invoice financing, we don't do that ourselves. We work with a partner.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, they're the financing specialists, giving credit lines. So we work with them.
Okay. Wow. That's very good. That's very good here. Sekarang coba kita juga talk stuff about not just the business, right? Tapi juga aku rasa dari teman-teman di sini juga pengen tahu about not just scaling tapi fundraising, because that's one of the topics, because you're probably one of the few investors who managed to jump from investing and now to entrepreneurs, right? Let's talk a bit about this one. Like, since you're previously investors, I assume that helped in fundraising, right? Does that help like a lot, or just a little, or like that? How do you see that? And does the new entrepreneurs in here have hope now during the COVID-19 fundraising? How do you foresee that?
Yeah. So on the first question,
yeah,
didn't help me at all.
Oh, seriously? Wow! Don't you have like
I
friends?
was so bad at fundraising. I mean, here's why, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sure, I had my VC contacts. I can just WhatsApp them, email them, and say, "Hey, look, I'm starting a company. I'm fundraising." That initial intro or contact point, was definitely easier than maybe some other people might have. Right?
Yes.
So that's okay. Yeah. That's just a very, very tiny portion of the fundraising process.
Oh yeah.
But when it comes to fundraising for your startup, oh man, that's so difficult. It sucks. It takes a lot of time. And I think you need to be a certain type of character to lay out a vision, right? Just tell a story. And I've only learned that this time around. Previously, I didn't have that, and I was so bad at fundraising.
That's very interesting. I mean, you're investors, but you claim that you're not good in fundraising.
Yeah. So it's not having a VC background doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be good at fundraising.
I see. Okay, that's very interesting. Okay.
I mean, sure, you might know like what are the points that a VC might look at and so forth. But convincing them to invest in your company is a completely different.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to have certain skills to do that, and then you can practice and learn those skills.
Right.
But it's not something that I had in the beginning.
I see.
I mean, even now we're on investor number 48.
Okay.
Pengalaman investor udah bicara untuk series.
Okay. Wow. Okay. That's very interesting. So basically, you need to relearn all of these new skills of fundraising again.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Wow. Okay. Jadi tetap aja ya. Jadi fundraising tetap butuh the attitude of entrepreneurs. Convincing itu tetap ada ya, gitu ya.
Yeah.
Okay. So like being in your side, right? Jadi karena you already did fundraise and during the COVID year as well. How do you think fundraising climate now? How do you fundraise with a good valuation? Should you prove the business idea first, or should you just claim the idea? How do you foresee it?
So one thing I've been really sort of thinking about when I talk to early stage founders is that, do you need to fundraise? It really depends on their priorities.
Okay.
If you can build a business that's sustainable, that's profitable, and you own 100% of it, why not just build that? If you want to be on magazine covers, get interviewed by CNBC, Bloomberg, or whatever, be under Forbes 30 under 30, whatever. if that is important for you, then maybe fundraising might be the choice. But if you think that's important, then maybe you're fundraising for the wrong reason.
That's correct. Yeah.
Right. So it really depends on your priorities. What you gotta take that ego out of you. And see what's best for you and what's best for the business. Because once you have investors on your cap table, man, like it's a whole different set of responsibilities. Reporting, and imagine if you have a bad investor on your cap table, man.
Okay.
It'll make your everyday life like it sucks.
Okay, interesting. So let me put it in the opposite words. Let's say that if you have the business going and you have the capital, then would you choose not to fundraise?
Once again, I think it really depends on preference and priorities. My next company that I would do, I would want to build a sustainable business. I don't want to build a startup.
Okay.
that's my preference. Yeah.
Okay, right.
But if you're building a company that needs to scale super fast, and you have the right vision, you have the right metrics, you're providing the right solution, and you need funds to grow faster, then maybe yes. Right? Okay.
Yeah, so the mindset is very important then. Yeah. The mindset to grow fast. Okay.
Exactly. And you spoke about fundraising during COVID. I mean, I think now investors are being a bit more opportunistic because we are seeing companies who were able to survive through COVID.
True.
So the opportunities are that, oh, this guy survives. He must have done, he or she must have done something well. This company survived. They must have done something well.
Right. Okay.
Right. So if COVID was a positive impact to your business, then it's a great time to fundraise.
Okay.
Because not many people had the opportunity to grow during COVID.
It's true. Okay. So understood, Hiro. So fundraising might not be fit for everyone. It only fits when you are ready and you think it's the right move. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely not for the.
Might not be necessary, right? Yeah.
Yes.
That's something that you need to figure out.
Okay. So Hiro, being a B2B fintech cross-border payment company, how do you see the exit strategy here? I mean, will you do acquisition or?
Most likely acquisition. We had a couple of offers last week. So not last week.
Wow. Okay.
Last year.
Congratulations. Okay.
Last year.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But these came from funny story.
Okay.
This came from a European company.
I see.
Wanted to come into Southeast Asia.
I see. Okay.
It was a good fit. We liked them. We liked the team. They liked us. But they didn't see the potential in our Indonesia business.
I see. So, okay. Yeah.
Indonesia is part of our proposition, right? So we said no. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so in a way, like everyone has to be able to foresee how is the exit strategy, right? Not just.
I think that's I think that helps, right? Because there's opportunities for exit, and if I'm not saying you got to build a business to cater for that, but I think it just helps in your thought process on what kind of business that you want to build. Right?
Okay.
And especially now, there's exit opportunities are probably better than like 5-10 years ago, right? And right. The go-tos, right? Travelocas, the unicorns, the digital banks that have enough resources to acquire companies.
It's true, right? Right now, like all of the exits are being valued by like lots of multiples now.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, thank you, Hiro. I think like you really like answer like a lot of things that we don't know, but I think I learned a lot of that. It's not easy being in your shoes.
I mean, same thing. I mean, France, you too as well. You built AsiaCommerce from scratch, and I think it's profitable now, right?
Yeah, it is.
Right? I would love to be in your shoes, man. I don't have to worry about fundraising.
Well, I don't know. Time will tell. Once you get bought by like investors or by acquisition, I think like that's when the real exit goes, right? So jadi teman-teman di sini kalau misalnya kalian ingin ngobrol dengan Hiro, silakan chat di chat box ini ya. Jadi kita akan kalian boleh tanya apapun gitu karena Hiro is very bilingual. Jadi kalian bisa tanya apapun di sini, bisa tentang B2B, fintech, ataupun tentang risk, karena dari Hiro di sini benar-benar sangat paham banget tentang regulasi dan bank dan apa resikonya di dalam dunia, terutama dalam dunia cross border gitu. Silakan teman-teman.
Chat juga boleh, kalau mau angkat tangan juga boleh.
Iya.
Bahasa nggak apa-apa. Jangan malu-malu.
So Hiro, you were raised in Indonesia, right?
Yeah.
Were you speaking in bahasa in school?
Enggak. Saya ke JIS, jadi makanya bahasa Inggris.
Oh, pakai bahasa Inggris. Oke.
Di rumah pakai bahasa sih. Di rumah sama bapak saya pakai bahasa.
Oke.
Atau Inggris ya. Terus sama mamanya pakai bahasa Jepang. Oke.
Wow, oke. Wow, jadi sangat bagus banget.
Tapi sekarang bahasanya kaku banget. Udah lama nggak ke Jakarta kan.
Jadi Hiro di mana sekarang?
Kan Singapura.
Oh, I see. Wow, thank you for your time.
Udah setahun lebih ya, setahun setengah nggak ke Jakarta.
Oh, gitu. Aku pikir masih di Jakarta. Iya. Nah, tapi Jody juga di Singapura atau Jakarta?
Nah, Jody Jakarta. Co-founders in Jakarta.
I see. Co-founders Jakarta. Oke. Wah, ini apa? Pertanyaannya masih ditulis kali ya gitu.
Well, mostly anything around, like, it doesn't have to be startups, right? Career advice, whatever. I may not have the right answer, but I'll speak the truth, as I said.
Yeah.
So
silakan teman-teman.
Ask anything in general. Actually, I have a question. Banyak kan belajar apa ya di kuliah sekarang? Attendinya. Oke, Stefani ya. Stefani ada
shoot.
Pertanyaan.
You can do unmute.
I will ask about how difference about izin dari Wallex sendiri dengan bank-bank di Indonesia lainnya kan. Kalau untuk Wallex sendiri kan, my personally aku belum pernah dengar sendiri tentang Wallex Technology ini ya. Tapi kalau sebenarnya tentang bank-bank yang kayak mengirimkan, kan ini kan tentang kayak transaksi internasional, terutama untuk bisnis kan ya. Apa perbedaan terbesar dari Wallex Technology ini dengan bank-bank lainnya, dan terutama dalam izin startupnya itu sendiri, izin usahanya itu sendiri. Thank you.
Oke. Stefani, itu saya mau tanya, Stefani, kamu pernah transfer ke luar negeri nggak?
Aku belum pernah sih, tapi aku mau sempet kayak mau daftar sesuatu, dan itu tuh internasional yang harus transfer ke luar negeri, dan itu kayak biasanya ada aplikasi kayak PayPal gitu. Ya itu.
So next. Next time you try to transfer money, try using a bank, right? Mungkin paling harus ke bank, ya, harus ke bank, isi formulir, terus transaksinya di cabang atau apa. It's all offline. Pakai Wallex itu semua online. Jadi buka rekening Wallex, put in your amount that you need to transfer, what currency, upload your documents, and then it'll be processed in the same day, right? Maybe next day, depending on where you're sending it to. So that's one difference. Semua online. Kalau pakai Wallex, semua online. Dan nggak ada transaksi limit. So that's one. Second one is that we offer better rates. Rate kita lebih baik dari rate yang bank kasih. And then the third one, yang ketiga itu adalah kita offer mata uang balas yang bank nggak bisa offer, like Thai baht, Vietnamese dong, kayak gitu.
Okay.
I hope that answers your question, Stephanie.
That's enough. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
So just Hiro, can you also share sekarang collection point sudah bisa di mana aja gitu?
Oh ya, collection ya. Itu koleksi, so collecting funds ya, is available for USD, Euro, Pound, British Pound. So if you're selling in the UK, Hong Kong dollar, Singapore dollar, and Indonesian rupiah.
Okay, got it. Okay, interesting. Do let us know if you have in Tibet, Philippines, the Southeast Asia?
Difficult one.
Yeah. Okay.
We get a lot of requests. But it's difficult.
Yeah, but you differentiate in being the Southeast Asia specialist, right?
Yeah, so I think when it comes to paying out Southeast Asia, we're pretty good. But collections is difficult. Sending money, getting money out of the country, right?
Right, that's true.
So when it comes to getting money out of the country, it's a whole set of problems than sending money into the country.
I see. That's true. Yeah. Okay.
I suppose I can ask a question because I'm also interested in P2P. So my main question is this: we all are pretty familiar with P2C companies, directly to customers. We all know the challenges in that. It's pretty obvious in fields like retail. So my question is, what are the unique challenges when you're doing a B2B company compared to a P2C business? Because most of us probably don't know the challenges in establishing a P2B company, because the customers aren't people, they're entities. And what's the unique challenges in that area?
I would say three things. One is product, right? Because when you're building a B2B product, your end customers tend to want a lot of customization, tend to give you a lot of feedback, especially in enterprise. You need to customize for a lot of things, right? So depending on who you choose to work with, that might decide your product roadmap. Right?
Interesting.
But if that that's me. If the features that you're building for that particular customer does not fit in your roadmap, then you have to say no. So you need to be able to say no to some customers. So that's one thing, right? Whereas with B2C, you roll it out, 1 million users use it. You're not going to build a custom feature for each 1 million users, right? So that's the one of the challenges, being able to say no to customers, being able to scratch features that are not working, stuff like that. Second one, I think, is when it comes to sales and marketing, right? It becomes completely different, right? B2C marketing channels is not going to work for B2B, right? And building out a sales team, I guess, is the third one, not the second. You don't need to have a sales team for B2C, but you need to have qualified salespeople and build up that sales funnel for B2B. I mean, this is what like Mocha and those guys did. Yeah, they have all these agents, right? The agents selling their services. I'll say those are some of the key differences and challenges that you will face in B2B. I mean, I'm sure in B2C you have challenges, but I think in B2B you need to think about it in this way.
Jadi challenge utamanya itu customization yang diminta, dan lebih kadang-kadang rewelnya berbeda dengan customer biasa, dan itu marketing channelnya emang pasti berbeda, karena kan tidak bisa kita marketing hanya melalui Instagram yang konvensional, pasti tidak bisa untuk itu, karena mereka juga enterprise level. Jadi memang perbedaannya mainly di sana ya, di karakteristik konsumernya memang berbeda. Oke.
Yeah, just on the marketing side, ya, kita apply ke program Facebook Accelerator Program and so forth, that will help you with your marketing. Tapi direktur mereka bilang, to be honest, your type of marketing, your type of customer segment is not going to be on Facebook. Jadi you should work on Facebook. Yeah.
Jadi well, untuk B2B memang harus jadi itu. Jadi B2B memang kita untuk B2B business, yang paling penting memang kita tahu where our customers are, supaya kita nggak waste resources di tempat yang biasanya mungkin kita hanya bahkan nggak akan dapat feedback apa-apa emang.
Iya benar. So I think when it kalau online ya, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the place to go for B2B. And then of course there's content, news portal gitu. Tapi kalau social media, LinkedIn. Yeah.
Well, it seems to me that B2B doesn't, really touch the vanity metrics, and it's all about the human metrics,
Yeah, that's true. You want to talk to somebody, right? You want to be able to be comfortable on using your services. Speak to someone who, like a specialist.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, we are on the same stage here. Oke. Silakan teman-teman, ada pertanyaan apa lagi gitu?
Bahasa juga nggak apa-apa.
Bahasa juga nggak apa-apa. Bisa langsung di chat, betul. Bisa langsung di chat juga. Nah. Mau di chat ke host juga bisa. Nah. Hiro, do you have any Instagram or where do you want people to follow? Like Wallex?
Wallex, yeah.
Or you don't just I just give them the Wallex Asia like that to check out.
Yeah, atau LinkedIn ya.
Okay.
A lot of our social is done on LinkedIn. We have Instagram, we have Twitter, tapi it's not very active. It's
okay.
The engagement is very low. Once again, the B2B, right?
Okay.
Jadi kita paling aktifnya di LinkedIn.
Okay. Don't forget to check Wallex.asia and LinkedIn Wallex.asia. Okay, interesting. Right. Jadi teman-teman, kalau misalnya tidak ada pertanyaan, saya akan segera tutup di sesi kali ini. Apakah ada pertanyaan? Going once, going twice, and yes, that's it. Thank you, Hiro. Oke, jadi aku rasa untuk kali ini mungkin dari teman-teman masih banyak yang malu-malu, tapi kita akan, encourage them to ask more with us and see how we can liaison with you as well. Oke. Untuk dari moderatornya, Aldrich silakan untuk dilanjutin lagi gitu. Mungkin ada sesi foto gitu ya. Gitu. Halo teman-teman.
Kayaknya nggak di-mute kan?
Oke. Ya. Untuk teman-teman boleh dong dibuka view fotonya dulu, kita akan coba foto gitu. Aldrich silakan untuk mulai di foto-foto dulu ya gitu. Nah, kita akan coba foto. Silakan Aldrich take lead gitu.
Yep. Sebentar.
Alright, oke.
Oke guys, masih ada yang belum membuka. Saya akan tunggu.
So I hope it's being a very good learning session.
I hope so.
Yeah, I do think so. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Silakan Aldrich. Okay. Going one and going twice. Oke, mantap. Thank you semuanya. Oke, thank you semuanya untuk udah datang ya. Jadi untuk everyone jangan lupa kalau misalnya kalian ingin informasi lebih lanjut, kalian bisa Asia dan juga untuk ngecek di LinkedIn Hiro Kiga dan mungkin bisa connect dengan Hiro nanti di sananya gitu. Dan untuk dari webinar-webinar ini kita akan juga hadirkan banyak banget guest speakers ke depannya. Jadi stay tuned in our website and our Instagram for more info and events in the future. And I think that's it, Hiro. And then I thank you for everything. Let's give a use of applause for Hiro in here.
And, All the best. Take care.
Yeah, and then thank you Hiro for everything. Oke, sampai jumpa semua kalau begitu ya. Sampai jumpa. Thank you semua. Oke.
Thank you Ko Hiro, thank you Ko.
Ya,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Semua.
Bye bye.